Hi, everyone. This is Paul Fisher coming at you live from Henderson, Nevada, US of A. And it is 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. And we are on a 24/7 broadcast for the Kringle coin. It's a cryptocurrency. It's actually called the Billion coin. We've been out for 2 years now, and so the price of our coin, the way it's based on our algorithm and not on like the coin market cap, you won't find it there. It's not on a market exchange, has grown to a price where we're mostly dealing in Kringles, which is a division of the actual Billion coin. Just like Satoshi is what they call a division of Bitcoin, the first cryptocurrency that came out back in 2009, 2010. Okay, today is the beginning of migration. Now, I've been talking about this for a while on my videos, and what we are doing is to bring you up to date. Is last year we noticed with Bitcoin that the transactions got to the point where that old blockchain platform couldn't handle as many transactions as it was capable of. The reason why is because it's on a trading exchange and every trade is a transaction. So not just peer-to-peer, it was the actual trading exchanges that were a big part of that slowdown and backload, and it took more and more time for a transaction to go through. So by about August of last year, they had to create another fork, which just means they created another coin called Bitcoin Cash, and it helps speed up the transaction a bit, get things back to normal. And then the transaction fees came way down as the miners didn't have to charge so much. Okay. These are all the difficulties and the problems that cryptocurrency has when they put it on a trading exchange, a market, just like the stock market. Okay. It can be controlled by the wealthy who come in and buy it all up and raise the price in. Oh, let's jump in, because the price is going up. We can make a few dollars and then we can pull out, and some do well and most do not. Okay, so it's very, very risky, because when it reaches a certain price, the wealthy dump, which we saw them do last year. Okay, and when it dumps, the price goes down, and people panic and they start to sell their coins, which further makes the price goes down. And what they're doing is they're getting your coins. They're getting the mass or whatever coin they're after. Obviously, they're after the Bitcoin. That's the biggest one and biggest threat and the most popular cryptocurrency out there, because it's been around the longest. Its price has gone up to $8,000 or $9,000 a Bitcoin. Okay, so that's the one they're targeting. And of course, they're demonizing all cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency, even though they can manipulate it and take it up for themselves and therefore gain control of that cryptocurrency, they don't have control of the people that are using it. And it's not their system. Their system is based on basically digital currency. It's not money at all. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by people. It's not backed by work. It's not backed by anything, by silver, by nothing. Okay, that's the Federal Reserve note, otherwise known as the US dollar, that you see other countries around the world right now trying to get rid of. They're all moving to the east, okay, because the Western world is so deep state, so central banking system, that they have no choice. If they want freedom, they want change, they want better for their countries, they've got to move over with the other countries that have already started to get rid of the US dollar. Okay, the US dollar is no longer the reserve currency of the world for the first time. Okay, so that should tell you what's happening, and it should make you say, well, what is Paul talking about? Let me go do some research online to see if this is really going down. But we saw what happened in 2008 with the bubble, the crash. We saw them try to bail everybody out and then tell us things were peachy keen, and nothing's changed. What has it been now? 10 years? Nothing's changed. And it's going to crash again. But this time we've got a man in office who is not bought and paid for by the deep state, by the elite. The elite don't own Donald Trump. They don't own us, the patriots. So for the first time since John F. Kennedy, we've got somebody in office that is going to do good and make peace throughout the world and fight and destroy the deep state. Now, times are different than they were back in John F. Kennedy's days in the early 60s, okay? Duh. Okay, technology is way advanced. When cryptocurrency came out, Bitcoin came out, people just didn't even understand it. It's like when the internet came out, they didn't understand it. What can you do with this? Okay, it was the same thing for me. I saw it in 2011. I said, what can you do? What is that? It didn't make any sense to me because okay, so unfortunately, it wasn't until it got really popular by 2016 that I finally took a good hard look at it and realized, oh my gosh, and then I got involved. But it was on a trading exchange, and all I did was watch it go like this. Okay, now, of course, 2017 was a great year. It just kept going up, 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 up. And it just, wow, it went up to $20,000 a coin, and it started to come back down. And that was exciting to watch, but I wasn't playing games with the trading exchanges. I just hung on to it. I bought some and hung on to it. And I still have it. And so I'm in there for the long term because I know over time it will go up. Every year it will go up. It will be worth more than it was the year before, simply because they're only mining 21 million coins. So there's a supply and demand right there. Plus there's the proof of work, because it takes a great deal of work to mine a coin. Mine, okay? This is all done with electricity, okay, and hardware. And the independent miners out throughout the world have to create a coin and do it on this blockchain platform, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of their time. So there is worth in it. It is a money. Okay, and that makes it much different than a currency. Okay, you can have, well, we have the fiat currency, that's the US dollar, and basically all the other paper monies that are being used in the world. Okay, if they're not backed by gold, then they're fiat. Okay, so what happened with this bog down last year? Bitcoin had to go into a fork. We took that same Bitcoin platform, because they were all based on that original Bitcoin platform, blockchain platform. And we just said, hey, this thing isn't going to work. We got to make a brand new one. It's been 8 years. We certainly have the technology. You know what they say, technology doubles every 18 months. Okay, so we built, the Billion Coin built a brand new 2.0 blockchain platform that is absolutely unbelievable. Instead of doing 10 transactions a second, we can do hundreds of thousands in a minute. Okay, just like Visa and MasterCard. Everybody can go through the cash register and use Visa, and bam, they're gone. They're out. Okay? All over the world, they're doing it at the same time. Okay? And I say okay a lot, don't I? That's what we need in a cryptocurrency. And that's what Bitcoin needs. Okay? Bitcoin needs to be able to where a bunch of people can just go out and make those transactions at stores, restaurants, service providers, merchants, retailers, whatever, and just, flash their QR code to their wallet and be out of there. But they can't because the system is too slow. It's not like Visa and MasterCard, okay, which is just all digital. So bam, 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 it's automatic. Okay, but the blockchain is a decentralized, which means completely private system of encryption. So everything is a little bit more complex, a lot more complex. And this is what makes it completely private. This is what excites everybody in the world. We're at a point in history we've never been at before. Okay, so the Billion Coin, the creators of Billion Coin, created from scratch a super fast, super modern blockchain platform that will last for, gosh, it may last forever. It's just so high tech, okay? And we've got it, it's done, it's set, it's tested, it's perfect, it's beautiful, okay? But it took a while, okay? We've been working on it for 6, 7, 8 months, okay? And it got so slow with our system that, well, it was just like Bitcoin. It was taking forever to make a transaction. In fact, it got so bad that there was a period where we couldn't even make transactions. And yet, and I've said this before, we grew in our membership from 97,000 our first year. We opened March 21st, 2016. March 21st, 2017, we had 97,000, or a little over 97,000 members. Our algorithm, the value of our coin, is based on people, membership in our community. They just agree to a membership agreement form, which just says you won't discount the coin, you'll be a nice person, and you won't be a criminal. I'm just kidding, but you won't discount the coin, because see, people can discount the coin and then it would destroy the value of the coin, and they did. And so within a year we had to partially centralize the wallets so that we can stop it. We can stop those discounters by just closing their wallets. Okay, it was awesome. Okay, it was awesome because it not only saved our coin, but then the realization was that, hey, we have a little bit more control than we even had before, and we could do a little bit things that are even better. Okay, so it was a huge, huge plus. Okay, all the way around. So, what was I saying? We slowed down. We started to build a new blockchain, and growth is what I was talking about. So from March 21st, 2017, I got involved a few days after that was when I discovered the Billion Coin and got involved, okay? Because at that point I knew all about, well, I didn't know all about it, but I knew what cryptocurrency was. I knew what Bitcoin was. I knew what was going on, and then I kept seeing these little videos on the side as I was doing research on YouTube about the Billion Coin, and I'd go look at CoinMarketCap and, well, the Billion Coin's not on there. What's that? And so I went and checked it out. Oh my gosh, this is something I can get behind. And since I've been involved in that, it's only grown into my whole entire system. The reality of it, the goodness of it, the power of it is just unbelievable. It's nothing I ever could have imagined I would see in my lifetime. We have been trapped as a people in this world under the central banking system since we've been born, okay? Because here in America, it switched over in 1913, okay? We gave up our money to a private banking system called the Federal Reserve, okay? And they had control in Europe long before us, okay? It's the central banking system, the Rothschild family, okay? When they brought it over to America, then the Rockefellers and the Morgans and all those got involved. And they got together and they created it again. And it had been in the system in America before, but a couple of our presidents got rid of it. And it has not been able to get rid of since 1913. They've had so much power. Their structure was at a point where it was very, very strong and solid, and they just kept exploding. And they took control of our government and therefore all of us. And all we have ever known is a debt-based system. Debt, debt, debt. Now, in 1971, when we really started to see something different, was when they took us off the gold standard. That's President Nixon took us off the gold standard. Okay, there was a little transition period. You know, they put us on what they called petrodollar, but then they told us there was no gas, no gasoline. Okay, remember that? Some of the older people like me definitely remember that. Even though we didn't have a license, I didn't have a license. I was only 13 in 71. I certainly remember being with my mom or dad. Well, being with my mom. My mom and dad were already divorced for 3 years. But being with my mom and sitting there in the station wagon, you know, in lines for like an hour before we could get to the gas pump. And then they would switch over to, okay, on certain days, depending on the number of your license plate, that's the only days you can come get gas. And that helped. That helped the lines a lot. But anyway, we got through that. We got through that period, and it wasn't too rough. It was a soft transition, if you ask me. Okay, but then the central banking system said, hey, let's bring out something that's really going to excite the people. Let's extend credit to them. So they came out with a little plastic card called MasterCharge, if you remember, and people can just go and buy things with this plastic card right there at the register. Okay, and pay for it later. Pay for it in little monthly installments. It was the greatest thing we ever thought, right? I certainly thought it was the greatest thing. The 70s, the late 70s were fantastic. The 80s under Reagan was awesome because we had all this availability of credit. But we didn't realize what we were doing, right? Only the very smart ones used the credit to make money because they knew how to use it. Most of us didn't know. We just spent, got ourselves in trouble, got ourselves in debt. Well, that's what America has done, okay? So that's why we're $22 trillion in debt to a private bank, because we were betrayed by Woodrow Wilson in 1913. And he gave our monetary system over to a private bank, which was against the Constitution, okay? But people can be bought. The very, very wealthy can buy anybody, not anybody, but just about, okay? No, but just about. Okay, they can't buy real patriots anywhere in the world. Real patriots just can't be bought. Okay, so we're now paying the interest with our income taxes to this private bank who are just storing away the wealth of the world. Okay, in 2016, it finally hit the point where 1% of the rich in the world, or 1% of the wealth in the world, no, 99% of the wealth in the world. Is that what it was? No, 1% of the wealthy in the world controlled the majority of the wealth, 90-something percent. I get these numbers all confused. 99% of the wealth, and the other 99% of the wealth had only 1% of the wealth of the world divided among all of us. That's what happened. That's what was happening all the time. But in 2016, it finally went to that point where now that 1% of the wealthy actually did have in their hands 99% of the wealth just to themselves. Now, keep in mind, if you want to know how many billionaires, and I'm going to include all billionaires, including multi-billionaires in this, how many billionaires are there in the world? 2,047 was the last time I looked. Okay, 2,047 out of 7.5 billion people in the world. 2,047 billionaires. Okay, so there you go. Look it up. You don't have to believe me. And you'll see that a very small amount of people control the mass of the wealth. And they don't do anything for us. They control us. And all we see is manipulation of the markets and crashes. They keep us on the edge all the time, okay, until things get real bad, and then they say, okay, time to bail everybody out. And then they bail everybody out, right? They bail the car companies out, they bail the banks out, savings and loans, they'll bail out the insurance companies, whatever. Okay, so see that it's come out over the years since Bitcoin is a real big, huge threat to their entire structure. because they don't have control over it. Okay, they have no control over it. They missed the boat. Okay, some anonymous individual calls himself Satoshi Nakamoto created the blockchain platform back in 2009 because of what happened in 2008. By then, the technology was available to have him create it and invent it and encrypt it and make it completely decentralized. Okay, and none of us really understood it and knew it, which is normal. But now we do. Those of us who have taken the time to say, what is this cryptocurrency? And it's more popular than it ever was over the past 3-4 years. Meanwhile, 2 years ago, we came out with our coin and we made it completely 100% abundance based, which means it never goes down in value because it's not on the coin market cap. It's not on the trading exchanges. It cannot be manipulated by the wealthy. We do not let the wealthy come in and buy up all the coins. We have partial centralization to control our coin, to make our coin what we have designed it to do. We created 1 billion coins because we needed enough coins out there that we can divide it amongst 7.5 billion people, even double that. Okay, so we built our algorithm on membership. So every person that joins, it was based on the euro. We had to base it on something, and all that's out there is fiat currency. So we based it on the euro. One person was worth €1. So 3,000 members would raise the coin price up to 3,000 euros, which would be a little over. It would be like 3,500 in US dollars. Okay, so the price of our coin just accelerated. Like I said, by the end of the first 12 months, we had 97,000 people members, so our coin was already worth 97,000 euros. By the end of our second year, that slow year last year, 2017, we grew by 30 times to 3 million people. Because the more people that start to understand cryptocurrency, the more people understand what the billion coin is. Okay, and what these kringles are worth. So 3 million people, now it's at 3.1. Okay, because our anniversary was March 21st. So 3.1 million people is 3.1 million euros. But we do not use the term euros as of today. Okay, as of today. So forget I said euros. It doesn't make any sense to base our money on currency, which isn't money. Okay, so we have switched over, comparing our price and our value to euros over to gold. Okay, one person that comes in now, instead of raising the price up by €1, one person that comes in now raises the price up by 1 grain of gold. A grain of gold is the smallest measurement of gold. Okay, it's smaller than the gram. Okay, so when you've got grains, you want to know how many grains are in an ounce of gold. 480 grains will equal 1 troy ounce of gold. So now we're basing it on a price of gold. It just makes sense. Okay, and so actually it gave us a raise by more than double is what it actually did. Okay, because a grain of gold right now is worth 2.2 or 2.3 euros, or close to $3 USD. Okay, so what does that say? If our algorithm is built on people, we have 1 billion coins. Our goal is to max out that price with our first billion people. When we get our first billion members, that will be the end of the price rise. Okay, it will never go above that price when we get there. If it was based on the euros like it was, it would have reached 1 billion euros. Obviously more with US dollars, if we were still on that system when we reached our first billion members. But okay, but now a grain of gold is worth 2.2 or 2.3, close to 2.3, based on the price of gold, euros instead of 1. So that instantly doubles the worth of our coin, the worth of our Kringles. And we're just going to call it Kringle coin from now on instead of the billion coin, because nobody could buy a billion coin right now. I mean, not nobody, but who's going to buy a billion coin for, $7 million? That's how much one coin cost of ours. You may think, well, that's crazy, but no, it's not crazy. It's absolutely not crazy. It's based on something real. People. And we got another coin that's coming out a year from now that validates our coin. Okay? Their algorithm is built on each time a member of their community purchases their coin, it goes up a fraction. Ingenious, huh? So the next person buys it at a little bit higher price. And of course, those fractions are real small, okay, because you can divide it by 100 million times a coin. So every person that purchases it, it raises the price of the coin. The price of that coin is never going to go down. It's the ICO is not on the trading exchange. And if they put it on a trading exchange, it will just blow the whole thing. Okay, so I really don't think they're going to put it on the trading exchange. But why? Why have they broken all the records and already sold $1.7 billion worth of their coin in an ICO? Why? Because people now are at the point where they are knowledgeable enough with cryptocurrency and the blockchain platform and decentralization that they understand what this coin is going to be about. They just maybe haven't heard about the billion coin. But we're there, and we're based on the same type of an algorithm that's going to create our wealth. And now that we're going to migrate, starting today, over to this new super duty fast, high-tech blockchain platform, there's nothing going to stop us now. Nothing. So that's why we're doing these videos, is because we got to get the word out. We got to step it up, because this is all peer-to-peer. For people to find out about something, cryptocurrency, it's peer-to-peer. We can't, admin doesn't take any money. We don't buy coins from admin anymore. He did at the ICO, that was it. And he controlled it. It was 100 people, okay? He vetted those 100 people to know what kind of people they were. Okay, this has all been done very strategically, and now we're balancing the wealth out across our entire membership. Okay, so there'll be nobody with a ton of wealth in the billion coin, and then the rest just a little, a couple of Kringles for the rest of the people. That would defeat the whole purpose. Our purpose is to eliminate global financial poverty, and it will. It's really simple. We're going to get our first million billionaires, and they'll be billionaires and multi-billionaires, okay? All we got to do is get one coin in the hand of 1 million people each, basically, and then you've got your million billionaires, right? Okay, and then we're going to go for 1 million or 1 billion millionaires, because the Kringles will be worth so much. People will be multi-millionaires just on Kringles. They won't even have a full coin. It won't take a full coin. Okay, wrap that around your head, because it's real. And we'll have enough Kringles left over for the other 6.5 billion people. Okay, people are still going to work. They're going to want to work because people love to work. And we still need things built. We still need hospitals. We still need doctors. We still need everything. Okay, there's people out there that are homeless. We need to build shelters and put them in there. Okay, there's the mentally ill out there on the streets. We need to get them a place where they can get help. We could do anything we want when we're there, and we can be there in as short period of time as 9 weeks, 9 months. We just need to double our membership 9 times, and we'll be at 1 billion. Okay, so if we had 30 times the growth last year, if we have 30 times the growth this year, and we're at 3.1 million members, we'll be at 85 million. 85 million is still a long ways from 1 billion, but when you think of Bitcoin, it being only 12 million people using Bitcoin right now, 85 million using the billion coin, we'll have our own economy, friends. We'll be able to use that everywhere, because our system will be beyond all of their systems. We will blow Bitcoin out of the water. They can't do anything about it. okay, we'll be able to just go right through the registers just like they can, except at a very slow pace, limiting what they can do, limiting what Bitcoin can do. It's not a solution. It can't even be a solution because there's only going to be 21 million coins mined. It's not enough to eliminate poverty in the world, financial poverty. Okay, so we will go right through the register using our QR code, and we can do it everywhere at the same time, just like Visa and MasterCard. Think what that's going to do. That's why we're out here telling you, guys, come on, get involved. Join our community. We don't care who you are, just that we're not going to allow discounting. Okay? There's no reason to, because we will be able to use that. We're giving the coin away. It's free. And today we started migration. In fact, let me read you the blog real quick. Over here. In fact, let me first check to see if there's anybody actually watching this and chatting. Hang on, it's pulling up. Okay, Brian's here and Abe Medlock here. Hi guys, girls, whatever. I don't know who Abe Medlock. I haven't watched your videos yet. Hi. But I see you guys all the time. Thank you so much. I thanked everybody at the end of my video yesterday. But thank you guys so much for coming on live and just making little remarks, even if it's just hello. Okay? They really, really make a difference in our videos, right? Especially if you go down and you hit the thumbs up button. So I am trying every day to watch your videos. And if I don't have enough time, I'll at least get in there and watch enough, and then I'll click on your thumbs up, okay? I will support you 100%. And that's what we need to do, because what that does is it helps us all get our videos out there. When people do searches on YouTube for cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, whatever, then we'll start to pop up. All these videos we're making will start to pop up. And that's how we're going to get the news out of what we're doing, okay? I didn't know how to broadcast, but tomorrow, slot 31. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You know, that's the way I was. It took me 16 days, Abe Medlock, to figure it out. I'm so like tech, you know, non-savvy that it took me 16 days from the 21st when they started to figure out how to do a broadcast. And then it took me forever to figure out how to see the live chat. You have to have two tabs open. Who did I find out finally? I think it was Whitefish Lady that had a video about exactly how to do it. And I went over that video. I had to go over it twice, and I finally got it figured out. Okay, so I'm going to go over now to the blog post where it talks about the migration. Well, you know what? It's not that big a deal. They started the migration today, right after we had our special send button call this morning at 7 o'clock my time, Pacific Daylight Savings Time. And right after that, they posted it in our back office, a way for the first 25 people to migrate. Now, I know that sounds like nothing. We got 90 days to get 3 million people over, but this is a first. This is first. For those of you who are watching and learning about the Billion coin and our Kringle coin, we call it Kringle's division of the Billion coin, and learning about the Kringle coin, this is a first to take 3 million people and migrate it onto a new blockchain. Okay, we want to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So just today, they accepted only 25. And it was 25 of the people that are doing these broadcasts, these live broadcasts. They gave us the chance to migrate first. There's no hurry. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean we're special. But we had to fill out an intent questionnaire and everything. But after the 25 was there, then it wasn't available anymore. And then and then admin told us, just watch in your back office or watch the blog. Watch the blog, and we'll let you know when we take the next group of people. And every time we do that, it'll be more and more and more and more and more. Because if the system's working really smooth and everything's, going good, then of course we're going to let everybody start coming in big, huge blocks and bigger and bigger blocks until we get all 3 million in by the end of a 90-day period. So it's so exciting. It is so exciting just to know that within 90 days, all of us are going to be on a system that will blow this, what would you call it? Cryptocurrency. It's not an industry. It's, well, I guess that's the only word I can think of, though. It will blow this industry out of the water. Okay? And you could expect things like this to happen in the future, because that's what technology is. It just improves, right? It doubles every 18 months. So there's no stopping it, and the central bank is extremely, extremely freaking out because they're losing. They're losing their control. And I would not be surprised if they did something horrible to distract us all and continue their havoc in the world, their wars, and everything else that they do. Okay, so a lot of people call it the deep state. It was a phrase that they call the intelligence communities of the world. The intelligence communities of the world are bought and paid for and controlled by the central banking system. So they're both the same. That's the way I see it. People call it, our admin calls it the elite. So I'm just going to start calling it elite as much as I can. Okay, but there are people sources that I get my information from that still separate it and say it's a deep state here, it's a central banking system. This is what they're doing throughout the world. This is what they've been doing, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, the point is Trump and patriots are at war against the central banking system. If we hang on to the narrative and stay 2 steps ahead, which you saw us do with North Korea, okay, it was all psych, psych, while in the background we were making peace. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with Syria, but we got to get our troops out. Okay, we've got help. We've got Russia, we've got China, we've got Iran, we've got Assad. We get our troops out. Anybody that's left over, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, any of that deep state, those deep state contractors, they're gone. They're history. They'll be mopped up. Okay, and the next thing we're going to see is problems with Iran. Okay, in fact, today I'm already seeing 2 articles on Iran, because we're supposed to be figuring out this deal with Iran, right? So you're going to see the same kind of stuff that happened between Trump and Kim. I'm sorry I'm smiling, but it was just so funny, right? We call him the little rocket man. Oh my gosh. This is a country, keep in mind, this is a country where you just saw Kim step over into South Korea, right? And talk to President Moon. And he stepped over into North Korea, and it was just an amazing thing. I mean, it brought tears to my eyes. I couldn't believe it, okay? But here's the deal. When Moon said, okay, I'm coming over, we're going to talk, I need to come to, what's the name of their city? Pyongyang? Okay, and so I'm going to bring a big, bunch of cars. And he said, no, don't do that because our roads are so bad. You'll never make it. You need to fly. Okay, that is the system and the structure and the reality of what North Korea has been under all these years, under communism, and with all the sanctions and everything that has happened. They're in bad shape. And they want peace. Kim wants peace. Okay, the deep state does not. The deep state was in Korea. They were controlling the narrative. They were trying to pull in Russia and China in the United States into a war. It didn't happen. We got rid of the deep state. Kim was able to leave his country without worrying about a regime change and go over to China and chat. And now he's chatting with Moon, and now he's going to chat with Trump. And we're going to see the end of that war by the end of this year. And we're going to see completely denuclearization in that whole peninsula. Now, we go over to Iran. Iran's going to do the same thing we saw Korea and the United States do. They're going to start threatening Israel with bombs and missiles. Hey, we got nukes. Don't mess with us. We're going to bomb you. The U.S. don't even think about trying to protect Israel. We'll bomb you too. Okay, and this is what kind of worries me, because we do have our ships over there right now, ready to pull our troops out, and I just wouldn't put it past them to do something really crazy. I mean, something huge to distract the people and create a war in Iran. They're losing the Middle East. People, they're losing the Middle East. Can you imagine, after all these years of controlling the Middle East and creating terror and war and misery, they're losing all their control over there. They're going crazy. And cryptocurrency is just scaring the devil out of them. Well, I wish, but no, I don't think they're going to get rid of the devil in them. But Iran will then, in the background, will be making peace with Iran, and you'll see the same thing that happened in North Korea happen in Iran. Okay? And then you'll know that Trump and patriots are doing things that no other president has ever done in this country. Okay? For at least since Taft. Okay? Who completely resisted that central banking system. He was the last one that resisted it. And he didn't make a second term because the central state fandangled, or whatever the word is, that election in 2012. I mean, in 1912. Woodrow Wilson didn't stand a chance of winning against Taft in for a second term, for Taft's second term. So they pulled in, the deep state pulled in Teddy Roosevelt. You can go back and look at the history. Okay? And that swung the vote over to Wilson. 3 days after he took office, he signed away America. He wasn't the only one. Okay, so I'm going to try to cut this off. Why not get off, early? Because I've been going way too long with these. Let me see if there's anything really pertinent that I need to talk of. Okay, there's news every day. And just let me say this. There's news every day that comes out talking about the central banking system, what's going on in the world, the economy, how horrible it is here in the United States, how horrible it is, even worse in other countries. Look at the news today. We got another problem in Greece, okay? Migration. I believe it's Somalis. I'm not positive, but they're just having a horrendous time over there, okay? These things wouldn't happen if there was no more lack in this world. These people in Africa can stay in their own countries because their countries will be awesome if they had control of their own countries. Africa is an amazing continent of nations that the elite have come over, dominated them, controlled them, and stripped their resources. But they still got tons of resources. And the elite don't want to lose control of those countries. They don't want to lose control of any country. They've already lost control of Russia. That's why Russia is a big enemy of us. I don't know why. We've never been in war with Russia. Russia is no longer the Soviet Union. It's no longer communist. Christianity is now back full force. But Russia is a big enemy. It's BS from the elite. And so they've already gotten rid of the deep state. China is there. There's news today that I don't have time to talk about. The Chinese yuan. They're not going to use our U.S. dollar very much longer at all, friends. What happens when a country like China, who is the biggest consumer of oil, stops buying their oil with the U.S. petrodollar? Where are all those U.S. petrodollars going to come home to? America. You think you've been seeing inflation and deflation or whatever? The system, that system's going down. It's going down whether the central bank likes it or not. They know it. It's just that they want to control the narrative so that they can point their finger at us and Trump and say it's all you guys' fault. And they'll hang on to their power. They'll bring in another monetary system. They have to. Trump and patriots will have to bring in another monetary system. It's just that we want the control because we, the people, the Constitution, the American people will be in charge of their own monetary system. We won't be controlled and indebted to a central banking system, a private banking system. Okay? So if Trump and us hang on to the narrative, we're going to say, okay, here it is. Sorry, guys, but we had to crash it. Sorry to put you through this soft transition, but there was no other choice. We were either going to stay slaves or we were going to break free with a little bit of pain and then be free. Okay? Our coin, the Gringo coin, is an abundance-based coin that has been built to be used throughout the world. And it is more than an option. An option would be any cryptocurrency, right? We always tell you, have a little bit of gold on hand if you can, have a little bit of silver on hand if you can, because it's always going to hold its value. And it can be used as money in a transitional period. It can be used just to protect your wealth. Okay, that alone is enough reason to have some. If you can't get any of that, then at least, if you can get a little extra food, a little extra supply, a little extra water, a little extra medicine, a little extra fiat cash at home instead of the bank, as the bank will close and have a bank holiday and they won't give you your money. And you'll think, well, I'll have access to it after the transition. No, you won't. This system is going bye-bye. Even if they hang on to the system, we lose and they win. They're going to write little IOUs for your money in the bank and they say, we got to use this in order to bring our system back. So we're going to write you an IOU. We'll pay you when everything gets peachy keen again. Right? Okay, so we always let people know, hey, just use some common sense, have a little backup. It will relieve the stress and anxiety when it happens, and it's going to happen. Okay? But it won't be no big deal if you're a little bit prepared and if we and Trump wins. Trump and us wins, the Patriots. Okay? And so far, we're winning every battle. We're 2 steps ahead. We have so much done in the background. Watch the executive orders. If you want to see what Trump's doing, watch his executive orders that he's creating every day. That the corporate media is not publishing, not telling us about. Okay? Watch. Well, just take my word, okay? Because you're not going to see it on the regular news. But in the background, indictments are being created, thousands of them, okay? We're just waiting for the time to bring it all out. And we can't bring everything out. The people in America and the people around the world will go nuts if they knew the real truth about what the central banking system has done to us over these decades, over these centuries. When we audit Federal Reserve Bank and give those results out to the world, what do you think is going to happen? Bye-bye central banking system. So what are they going to do to hang on? That's what they do, to hang on to this and save themselves. Okay, this is a very powerful group of individuals. Back to the monarchies, the kings, the royal families, but they got ripped off. Napoleon and whatever, it was right around that period when all that crap went down and they took control. And so for the first time in history, we have a coin that's not only an option during a period like this. There wasn't there in 2008. We didn't have any options. We didn't have any choice about what happened to us. We do today. Now we have a solution, more than an option, an absolute solution. You know, I don't know how long it's going to take before this transition period happens and the crash happens. You know, nobody can really predict. Well, actually, we can know pretty close, okay? Because we're seeing everything. And all of that is a lot of economic tech talk, I call it. You know, you have to practically have an economic degree to understand what's going on and to understand all the stats. That if you knew and understood them, if I knew and understood them, I'd say, oh my gosh, we're headed right there again. But I don't have a degree in economics. So I don't want to spit out all that stuff from somebody else so that you can just go, oh, what are you saying? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you the stuff that's really obvious and show you, hey, you know, this is what's going on. Check it out. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? We're $22 trillion in debt to a private bank. Does that make sense? Is that in the Constitution? Does it make sense to be paying income taxes? And all that income taxes, 100% of it goes over to London, and then they distribute it out? Well, Paul, I thought our money was going for, you know, Medicaid and, you know, and all this other stuff. You know, food stamps and, you know, all these great things. No, the central banking system is just printing more money for all that stuff. That's the reality. Okay? We're just getting more and more in debt. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go. And I'm going to try to shut up. It's almost been an hour. I'm going to keep it under an hour today. That's really good for me. And my next goal is to keep it down below 45 minutes. And then maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll keep it down to a half hour. But then again, I may not. Who knows? Okay. As things progress and get more exciting, I'm just going to have more to talk about. I won't be able to contain myself. Okay. So thanks, guys, for hanging in there, if you're still there. And those of you who are looking at this for the first time, if any of you are watching this, look below in the description of the video. You'll see all the information about how to get your free gift of 25,000. Actually, now that we're on the gold, it's going to be 250 kringles. It's going to be worth about $2,something thousand today. And it will show you how to get that free. Okay, we're giving it away because why? The more people that have it, we're membership based, right? The more people that have it, the more the value of our coin goes up until it reaches its maximum. Okay, and I told you 1 billion people sounds like a lot, but it's not. Not when you realize that all people need to do that get involved is go share it with 1 or 2 family members, or 9. Okay, because it only needs to double 9 times. Okay, so it's not a hard thing to do. Okay, your back office that controls all that, your ability to give the gift away, is only $10 a year, and it just pays for the servers. Again, admin doesn't make any money. He's completely self-funded. Okay, that's why he's also going to throw in your wallet fee for a lifetime wallet. A lifetime wallet, no transactions, no transactions. No transaction charges and no transaction fees is what I mean, okay? Every time you use a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or anything that's on a trading exchange, the miners will charge you a transaction fee. Yeah, it's only pennies on the dollar, but you know, you saw it go up to $30 for a transaction last year when things got bogged down. The miners weren't stupid. They found a way to gouge us. Okay? We're not about that. We're abundance-based. We're not mentally scarce. We're mentally abundant because we know that this world has so much abundance in it that it's not even funny. We can hold billions and billions and billions more people on this world and have plenty for everyone. But that's not what the elite are going to tell you. In fact, they want to depopulate the earth. They're just sick. They're sick individuals. Okay? And it's a small group, but they, with their money, they can buy people left and right and lie and lie and lie to us and make us think things through their corporate media that's owned by them, whatever they want to feed us. But today is different because we actually can get sources with real journalism. We're not stuck to 3 channels like I was when I was a kid growing up. We had 3 channels, ABC, CBS, and NBC. That was our news. And that was our news. We didn't have any other choice. We had to believe what they told us. Okay? Man went to the moon. Okay, we believed it. In spite of the fact that no human could live past our outer atmosphere, right? Go look it up. Do some research. Okay, that's nothing. That's nothing compared to what the truth of what things have happened and what they have done to us. The trip to the moon is nothing. Don't get excited or riled up over the fact that we never went to the moon. But Paul's crazy because he's a conspiracy theorist. No, just go do. Every weatherman would know. I'm serious. They study the atmospheres. They know. They know that the radiation is right there. Okay, it won't land anything living exist when you get high enough. You know, our atmosphere goes out 800 miles from Earth, so there's different layers of atmosphere. Okay, the ozone protects us from all that radiation. Okay, but it's just like global warming. You know, big old lie. Oh, you know, carbon dioxide is bad. No, carbon dioxide is good. In fact, nothing will grow on Earth without carbon dioxide. Okay. But anyway, okay, people, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm already scheduled. What is tomorrow? Taco Tuesday. Okay, don't forget. Remind me or I'll remind you it's Taco Tuesday tomorrow. It's Tuesday, 2 for Tuesday. If you got a good radio station, they're going to play 2 songs from each band in a row. Tuesdays are nice. Okay. Okay. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy, have fun, get involved, check out all the information below in the description. Find out what the Billion Coin is. It won't take you that long. Just get on the main site, thebillioncoin.info, read a little bit. Okay, if you have any questions, go over to the broadcast button, click on that, see if there's anybody live at the moment. I leave my comments on, so I haven't been looking at them, but I do leave my comments on, so you can write stuff on those comments later on, and I will start to look at it, okay, and answer anything that I see. Of course, you can write stuff like, Paul, you're full of... I might delete those, but anyway. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, same channel. That's it. Enjoy.